This is the second studio, hosted by two architects, myself, David Lee, and Marina Borderone. This week, it's the two of us in a relatively short, ultra-casual conversation. And basically, we just talk about movies and movie theaters and a recent TV show we've been watching. Let me know what you think about
the movie
movies.
Experience.
The movies and theaters. And
I'd be curious to know, actually, if maybe it's just an architect perception of the movie theater. But I would be curious to know if other people feel the same way and what they think could be done to movie theaters to kind of like bring them back to life.
Or if anyone has done a movie theater project and you think something it's interesting, send it to us.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Always looking for interesting things to look at. There's not much out there, so if you have a good one, send it to me.
Okay, send it to David.
Okay. What do I say? Sponsors. This is the second studio with the two of us. Here we go.
This episode of the second studio is brought to you by BQE Core, the all-in-one firm management software built for architects. Designed by architects for architects, Core helps you track time effortlessly, manage projects seamlessly, and get paid faster so you can focus on design, not spreadsheets. With powerful automation and real-time insights, it's everything you need to run a smarter, more profitable firm. See how BQE Core can transform your practice by clicking the link in our show notes. Available with Revit version 2023.1 onward, Autodesk Insight is a next-generation carbon analysis tool that can help you make the leap to low-carbon design. With only a few clicks, Insight lets you analyze, understand, and track the embodied and operational carbon impact of your design choices. You can then visualize opportunities for energy efficiency and carbon mitigation with its flexible dashboards, helping you make more sustainable and informed decisions. Check out the Insight link in our show notes to find out more. You have been living the life. You've been going to movie theaters to watch movies, huh? Because you have to understand, once you have a kid, going to see a movie becomes a whole other thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've been in theaters before where people bring in their 3-year-old or 2-year-old, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
It's a very self-centered thing to do. But yeah, no, I went to see the Fantastic Four movie recently, which is late because I think it came out like a month and a half or 2 months ago. And I feel like movies are in the theaters these days for a very short period of time. So the theater, now you have to reserve your tickets, buy them in advance or choose your seats. And so when I was choosing the seats on Fandango, I was disappointed by the size of the theater because it's like one of the small ones.
People.
But at the same time, I got there. I was like, oh shit, this is pretty big still. Because
it's bigger than your living room.
Well, I haven't been in the theater in... A couple of years at least, because I think the last one was Top Gun Maverick. When did it come out? 2022. So it's been like...
Oh, wow.
I don't know what month it said, but probably 3 years. So, but yeah, I went to see it. You didn't go. And it was surprising how much more impactful the movie was because it was in a theater. I mean, I didn't see it beforehand outside of a theater, but I'll probably watch it again, at home or something. It's not the same thing, and I don't know. I guess it's the size of the It's definitely the audio, which is much more enveloping.
Did you have like the reclining seats?
No.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So archaic.
Yeah, so archaic.
Was there any cup holder?
There
or
were
was
cup
it like
holders.
a wooden tablet?
It was so like we have a big TV relative to the size of the room that we at home.
Oh, you think?
It's a pretty good sized TV. I mean, I think having a theater room would be a lot of fun.
I wonder actually if you have a theater room in, let's say, your basement.
Yeah. If
it feels like you're in like a theater, like. Or you also have to have the popcorn machine, the ice, the soda,
Well, what I want to try too is one step further, which is just the VR goggles.
To watch a movie?
Yeah, I wonder if that's more what that's like.
Dramamine.
Because it's sort of what?
Dramamine.
Dramamine?
Yeah. I would have to take so much Dramamine to do that.
Oh. Well, I think it's only an issue if you're moving your head around, but just don't move your head.
I don't know.
But the Apple Vision goggles, you can keep the screen in a certain physical point.
Yeah, I feel like this Apple Vision stuff kind of died out. Like we haven't really heard anything since it came out. It was kind of like really exciting, and then radio silence.
Well, there wasn't any clarity as to like what would be the main use for it.
I mean, it comes back to the why question.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's no doubt that there's aspects of the Apple Vision that'll be bleeding over into other things, but it's just it's a whole thing. You know, you got to put it on your face, and I don't know. It's not the. It's different. But anyway, the theater. Yeah, it was pretty. It's pretty amazing seeing a big movie that has a lot of CGI and like big sets and stuff like that on a big screen. Makes a lot of sense. You can see everything. You see all the details, all the bits and pieces. And anyone who hasn't seen the movie and is a fan of architecture or mid-century architecture or just cool set designs, it's definitely worthwhile. I would watch it again just for the scenes.
I'm thinking about what you were saying in terms of like how does that translate to looking at, let's say, architectural drawings. And I feel like what you're describing is like it makes sense to see like movies, especially ones that have a lot of CGI and like set production on a big screen, so you can actually see all of the details of the set.
Yeah. Right?
I'm thinking it's kind of like if you were printing construction drawings and like the smallest size paper sheets.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it, you're missing like half of the information.
The immersive experience.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of an interesting.
Well, for legibility for CDs, yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, that's why, you know, recently we were talking with someone, a contractor, and they were wanting to meet in person to review a printed drawing set. And, you know, it's kind of weird. It's 50-50. Like a lot of times those things happen remotely via Zoom because it's much more convenient, but there's nothing like being in person, first of all, and there's nothing like having a physical large set. Or I'm waiting for the day when large glass tabletops with screens underneath them, monitor tabletops, becomes standard. They probably exist, but they're not standard, not to like the resolution of what we've all become used to with the 5K screens from Apple. But if you had like a big conference table with that, you could have 30 by 42 sheets or 24 by 36 sheets. That would be like the best of all the worlds. But yeah, the amount of detail that you could see in a theater screen is like, it's pretty. I can understand why all the people who make movies are kind of upset by this idea that everyone's streaming stuff on their tablets or their phones or on airplanes. It's like we put so much work into every single corner and every detail of the movie being perfect, whether it be the audio, the soundtrack, the sets, the editing, the lighting, all of it's like perfect for something that's designed to be on a giant screen, and you're looking at it so small, like you're not getting the full experience. And it's true. I mean, like I would say maybe 30% of the information that I saw on the screen I would not have seen, you know, as directly if I was looking at it even on our TV, which is a big screen. And I don't know, I have to go back to the theater more often. I think it was very enjoyable. And again, the set design of the movie was super, super cool.
I don't think I can do theaters anymore.
What? Why?
I told you before, like I'm kind of, I don't know, I feel kind of anxious in theaters. I'm always too cold, it's always too loud, I always need to pee, I feel like I can't get out, I also don't know who else is sitting in the room. Yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know, I like the comfort of my living room.
No, I like, the thing about the theater that I enjoy is that you're forced to just do that.
And I don't like that.
No, that's the problem with watching a movie at home is that in a living room setting is that there's too many distractions. You get up to use the restroom, you get up to make some food or get a drink or something else is going on, your phone's going off or, light from outside is coming through the window, all this like distractions.
I don't know, I get fidgety in movie theaters.
Well, that's fine. I'll just go by myself. It works out.
Someone needs to keep the kid anyway.
so it works out. I don't know. I think if you had a theater at home, I guess it would depend on the screen size. Because in a certain way, if you're just closer to the screen, then it should be the same, same. But I don't think it's the case. I think you need a really big screen.
Yeah, I feel like you're sitting the previews,
I love previews.
You can't just like sit down, turn on, and prefer and think that you're in the same experience. I feel like you need.
I have to.
I might need to invite some strangers into your basement so they can walk by the aisles on the side.
That is the part of theaters that is difficult. You don't know who's going to be in the room with you.
Yeah, that's been something that's been creeping me out more and more.
What?
Strangers being in the same room in the dark.
Well, you didn't have that feeling before COVID.
No, I think I've always had that feeling.
Oh. Well, just don't
the only
think about
theaters I would go back to is like the dine-in theaters like Alamo where they serve food.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I guess I'm less fidgety because I'm eating. I think it's the fact of like sitting and not doing anything. Like I have I'm just having a harder time doing that now.
You gotta learn how to just relax.
There's no time to relax, David. Life's too short. You gotta get going. You gotta get stuff done.
The thing about the Alamo that's nice too is that they do enforce the rule of no one talking and no one having their phones out. They don't mess around. They kick you out.
I do like they serve. It's not just you go get your chicken tenders before you come in the room.
Ooh, who's getting chicken tenders at a movie theater?
I've done that a few times.
Oh.
Well, if it's close to lunchtime, you need to eat something. Get some chicken tenders. Yeah. But I do like that they do the service because it feels like, oh, I'm combining restaurant experience and movie experience.
It's not bad. I don't mind it.
And I would whisper and they give them a piece of paper and like that's how you place your order. It just feels kind of like it feels like it's not supposed to be happening, but we're doing it.
It's like a speakeasy kind of feel. Yeah, I can understand that. My preference would be though I would prefer not food. I'd prefer just to be in the thing, but that's difficult to do because you always do have people speaking. Even at the Fantastic Four movie, small theater. There's maybe about 15 people in the theater, which is not a lot. People in the upper left, someone was talking. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's nothing to talk about during the movie, except for someone says, "Oh wow," or "Oh shit," or something, or "Oh that's sad." I don't know, whatever they're say, but they're having there's some kind of conversation, and I just again, if we could somehow just lasso all of those people and just put them in their own island somewhere.
You know what they should do? They should do like those, acoustic ceiling tiles and have a boxing glove that comes out on an accordion arm and just punches you in the face if you talk during the movie.
I don't know why people do that, but yeah, the set design of the production design, I guess they would call it, of the movie was like 1950s, 60s. Retro.
Oh, interesting.
Plus futuristic styles of everything. I mean, there it is.
Oh, wow.
That's like the living room of their
Is that because it's when the story's supposed to happen, or?
Well, it takes place in a different universe, but apparently, in that universe, it's takes place in the 1960s. I don't think they say in the movie a date, but clearly it is. It's a very weird mixture of old and new. Like they have flying cars and jet cars. Meanwhile, they have a baby carriage. What's it called? A pram. With the really thin metal wheels. So they have that for the baby. Then meanwhile, they have like a bassinet that's able to fly and teleport. I mean, it doesn't in the movie, but it has all these gadgets. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they choose what to soup up and not.
I've always wanted to design a sunken living room.
It's weird. Some people are really against it, and I don't understand
Well, I guess
why.
If you're kind of wake up in the middle of the night and you forgot you have a sunken living room, you walk toward the fridge and you fall down. Who would live
with a sunken living room and forget you have a sunken living room?
Well, I don't know. If you have a night you drank a little bit too much, you forget.
No, that's your own fault then. It's your own fault. No, I think that would be really cool. I mean, I kind of like it because it's it's like a designed space to converse in. It's not like whatever, we're here, we're there, we're just kind of all floating around in a box space. It's like, no, this is the space for sitting and for talking, and that's it.
I like the relationship to the ground that it creates. It feels like the built-in furniture is interesting because I think it does feel very different in the experience and something that you could just drag around and move across the room.
Mm-hmm. They don't have that many pictures.
Oh my, what character
That's the fridge. That's the one that's played by cousin Richie. The character's name is Ben Grimm, and he's called the Thing once he turns into this. But the CGI of it was super well done in his face. Like, he was very, very expressive, which you wouldn't imagine.
Is this supposed to be a rock?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is this a real building, or did they design it just for...
No, I think they built it for the movie.
Well, they have Calder mobiles.
But I have to say, going to the theater it's a weird thing because the theaters that time of the 50s or even earlier were a huge deal. You know, obviously when they first came out, it was like moving pictures, this idea. But it was like a night out, you know. It was like it was much more of an event, and it was much more of an exciting thing to do, and there was much more procession. There was much more to it. I mean, it's a weird thing because when you think about the theater, it's literally just a room with seats that's dark. You have speakers and you have a projection screen. That's it. And the movie itself is an hour and a half or 2 hours or 2.5 hours now. And that's it. So you just sit and you watch it and then you're done. So the actual experience of what the theater mainly is a very defined thing. It starts, it happens, and it ends. There's nothing else, right? But then you tack on like the previews. And before that you have all the basically commercial stuff that gets put on the screen where if you get there early. Then you go up beyond that. You have getting your popcorn, getting your hot dog, getting your soda, getting your ice, getting whatever you get, entering the theater, getting your ticket at the box office in front, paying for the ticket, walking to the theater, and getting dressed up to go. So there's like all these layers, but more of those layers have been removed because now you book tickets online and they're reserved seats. So there's no longer the part of the experience of making sure you get there at a certain time to get good seats, which is annoying to do, but also creates a bit of like suspense and interest to the whole thing. It's all gone. And so even like on the outside, a lot of the theaters have these ticket booths. And the one that we went to is part of like a large kind of outdoor mall thing, but there are these ticket booths. And a lot of the architecture of theaters is done in a way to kind of quote the theaters of the... I don't know what era, maybe the 30s or something. You know, the big kind of arc, big lit billboard sign in the spire that has the theater name on it. Like a lot of the theaters now still have that kind of design around them, which I like. I'm not saying I don't like it or that's wrong, but it's also kind of pointless because all of that pomp and circumstance, pomp and whatever, and the fanfare is not there anymore. You buy your ticket, you park your car, your electronic car, your Tesla, you walk in, and that's it. You don't have any of this waiting in line.
It's an interesting point, actually, and I'm almost wondering, why is no one kind of like remodeling movie theaters in a way that is more appropriate to this current time?
But there's nothing to... Go ahead.
And I'm not talking about the room themselves with like, you know, the recliner seats and the screens and whatever, but kind of like the whole procession from the front door up until you get to your theater room. You know, like you're right, it's not...
But so if you were to redesign it with today in mind, knowing that you don't have to buy tickets at the ticket booth, and when you do, it's not even a person, it's a kiosk, a digital kiosk like everywhere else now. What would you design? There's nothing to design.
I think it's mostly like the carpet, the wall covering, like the whole like design theme feels super outdated in many of them, you know.
It's kind of an Art Deco. A lot of the theaters, actually.
It's like, red and gold and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But now it just looks kind of like gross and dusty and out of touch. Like, I don't know. I wonder how much, I really do. I really wonder like how much of the entry sequence experience would impact people wanting to go to the movie theater or not. Or if within that entry sequence from the front door to the theater room, if there was something else happening, if people would be more inclined to go back to movie theaters.
So this is the case with a lot of entertainment venues, theaters, movie theaters, stage play theaters, concert halls, athletic stadiums, football stadiums, soccer stadiums, whatever state, baseball stadiums. There's the thing itself, and there's like, that's only half of it. Right, the other half is all the other stuff. It's the parking, it's getting the hot dog, it's getting the popcorn, it's buying a jersey, it's doing this, it's doing that. It's all this like peripheral things that makes up like half of the experience, if not more of the experience for some people.
Because, what's weird is that you go to the movie theater, okay, fine. You get there, get your popcorn, you use the bathroom, you go find your seat, you watch the trailer, and the movie starts. And then the movie's done, and you just sadly walk back to your car.
Yeah.
It's almost like the ending is not... I don't know, maybe there should be a lounge area where you can, have a coffee or a drink afterwards, or maybe there is merch about the movie, like you really like it, you want to get a t-shirt or something, just kind of like carry the experience all the way back to your car.
But they
and
have
not have
that.
to stop when the movie ends.
But they have that a lot of times. And they don't always have merchandise, but they have things. They have like a restaurant or a bar area. All of the theaters, not all, but a lot of theaters, the bigger ones, they try to do that. They try to stick on more stuff.
Yeah, there's something, it's with the flow, the signage, or the design of it. I don't know, it's just not, it should naturally, carry people there.
So what?
I don't know, I think it needs to be designed in a way that's more incentivizing than the way it is.
Well... but what are you proposing then? A restaurant?
All the things I just mentioned. A restaurant, a shop, a shopping kiosk, whatever, a playground. I mean, I don't know, like whatever.
But some of them have those.
Okay.
Doesn't that satisfy?
No, I mean,
no?
I've never done anything else but watch a movie at any of the theater I've been to. If it was really enticing, I would have gone to something else. I never did. I don't know. Give me a theater to design and I will see what I can do.
Well, it is kind of an odd thing. I never have the urge to hang around in the theater space afterwards.
Actually, I remember there was a movie theater that opened. I don't know if it's a movie production, Pâté?
No, what is that?
P-A-T-H-E, that you see sometimes with like the Golden Rooster mobile before movies.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You do.
Pâté?
You do.
Golden Rooster Mobile? What the hell is that? Golden Rooster Mobile. Pâté coq?
You've seen this thing before, right?
No. What is that? Is that a food thing?
No. It's like what kind of theaters exist here?
That looks like a French word, though.
It is. Like, what are the kinds of theaters that exist here?
What are the kinds of theaters?
Brands of theaters.
Oh, AMC.
There you go.
What do you mean, there you go? What does that mean?
It's a French major film production and distribution company. So anyway, you see that sometimes in the beginning of movies if you actually pay attention. But anyway, what I was going to say is that growing up, there was a new big movie theater that opened, maybe 20 minutes away from where I grew up. And it was this like multi-story, kind of like this big box with huge parking lot that was built. It was a huge deal because all of the movie theaters around were like very small, hole in the wall, 1 or 2 rooms playing movies, but that was it.
Yeah.
So when this thing came out, it was like a huge deal. And it was brand new, like bold graphics on the facade, like, the whole shebang, right? And I remember actually it was a really cool building because the whole ground floor was, just the entrance, but it kind of had like this circular layout where I think the escalators were kind of in the center, and then everything else was around. So there was a shop, there was a popcorn shop that you would walk in, grab your popcorn on the shelf, or like other snacks that they had. It wasn't like vending machine or a counter you wait behind. It was like a little shop you would step in. They had an arcade corner, for kids to play. And then the 2 floors above were the theaters, right? So you have to use your ticket and go up. But you could actually hang out downstairs and not even go see movies, right? And I don't know, the design was just kind of like futuristic, bold colors, and the fact that you would have to walk around and get your own stuff just made you want to hang out. Interesting. There was an atrium, I think, too, so there was like natural daylight in. I mean, it was a very pleasant space,
I'm trying to think when I was younger when we went to theaters, like it felt like much more of a deal. I mean, some of them were nicer for sure. Nice big atrium, double height space. Stairs on both sides. I guess for me, it's a weird space. All that space, it's weird because it's transient. You have no reason to really hang out there.
No,
because you're just basically doing stuff in order to get into the theater, or you're killing time to get into the theater, but it's not really space to hang out, which is also why maybe the opposite could be argued, that maybe a theater should just be a theater and not try to be all this other stuff. I mean, you have a snack bar, fine, that could be done in different ways, but trying to put it in an arcade or a restaurant or a merchandise store seems like, well, at some point too, the extension of the evening out experience is not in the domain of the theater. It's just part of the street it's on, or the shopping mall it's in, or whatever.
I know, but it's kind of weird to like go in, scan your ticket, and enter in a black box to stay there for 2 hours and leave. There's something very strange about it, right?
It is weird. Getting out is weird.
Maybe it's not so much about the getting it, but the getting out, it always feels like an uncelebratory ending.
Yeah.
It's especially also, if you go out at night and then you're kind of like sleepy, you want to basically just go home, go to bed, and that's it. It's
also disorienting.
Yeah.
Even if you see a movie during the day.
It's even more disorienting during the day. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. I don't know if architecturally there's something you could do to help the readjustment back into like the world afterwards.
And actually, that's a very interesting point. Like maybe there is something about kind of like going back from darkness to daylight, that could be done in order to kind of like feel a bit less unsettled and waiting for something to happen.
The part of the experience that I never like is the end. Because it means you're going back to reality, and reality is like ultra depressing and boring compared to like whatever you just saw.
Oh, I'm glad we're sharing a life together.
But you know what I mean? Like you step out, you're like, oh, there's no like flying aliens. There's nothing at stake here. There's no zombies. I don't get to have a shotgun. You know what I mean? There's nothing happening. Boo. That's the part that's rough. It is.
That's what I'm saying. So if they were giving you a free T-shirt at the end, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't.
And now, a little break for our show sponsors. Are you tired of juggling multiple pieces of software and struggling with spreadsheets that aren't made for the realities of design and architecture in 2023? Built by and for designers and architects, Programma's all-in-one suite of tools has everything modern studios need for every stage of a project. Mood boards, the world's best specification tools, procurement tracking, project management, and more. All smartly integrated, easily shareable, and always up-to-date, reducing time-consuming double handling and costly errors. Share your work in various formats, from PDF to client-friendly, up-to-date online dashboards. Join the ranks of leading studios using Programma today. Click the Programma link in our show notes to start for free. Or if there was, I don't know, like not an exhibition, but like a small room you walk out through, to get back to your car that has, I don't know, like sketches from the movie, or like miniature models, or, like just something to kind of like slowly fade the experience away.
Well, what you're describing reminds me a lot of when you go to an amusement park like Disneyland.
Yeah.
When you get out of the ride, you never just dump out back into the theme park. You go through a gift shop.
Yeah.
Now it's like you get off the ride, and there's a area where you can buy photos of like the photos it took of you in the ride. And there's another kind of X-session, pro-session, like a walkway that's in the theme of the ride. Then you get to the gift shop, and then you get back out into the park.
You can take selfie in front of the background of whatever, just kind of like mini experience, like giveaway experiences.
Yeah, but I think it's much easier for them to do that at let's say Disneyland, for example, because everything's hyper curated and they have people. It's a whole experience. Movie theaters, it's like they try to create an experience coming in, and they don't try to create an experience exiting. But it's tough to do because really you're just there to see a movie. So the people who are assisting you with the tickets or giving you popcorn or this and that, they're not like cast members at Disneyland. That's what Disneyland calls their employees. They call them cast members. There's not like that. It's much more of ghetto version of that kind of entertainment experience.
Mm-hmm.
So even at movie theaters, they always have big, cardboard posters, and they have like cutouts where you put your head behind the thing and pretend like you're Liam Neeson and Taken or whatever it is, or someone being eaten by Godzilla. But like, I've never seen anyone like use those. I've seen maybe like one kid run behind there, and the parents are like, "No, come on, we're not going to do whatever that is." So it's like whatever chemistry and makeup of the architecture and the experience to create that kind of magical experience of a night out that is about dreaming. Let's say it doesn't happen in theaters. Like it would in comparison to like an amusement ride in like Disneyland or something like that. And it's weird because the architecture and the interior design and the decor and all that stuff still wants to be that. And like I said, the kind of the Art Deco era, you have the red and gold and purple carpet. You have the sconces that are designed to have angles to them. You have the big swooping architecture tower thing, the neon and all. You have all that stuff, but because it's not really used that way, it doesn't feel that way. You don't have people working there that really embrace that feeling, and no one going there embraces that feeling either or cares about it. It just feels kind of like a ghost town version of what it used to be. Even more so now because the theater that we went to, the main doors are in the middle. If you're facing the theater, the main doors are in the middle, and on the left or right is this arc that I guess would be a concave arc, and there's ticket booths on both sides that flank the sides, and so like architecturally it's large, it's a big space, so it could be quite impressive. Like, oh wow, we're going to the theater, it's at night, there's lights and whatever, but those ticket booths on either side, there's maybe like half a dozen, all empty. Because no one works there anymore.
So I'm saying.
So they just have.
That's what I'm saying. The theaters have to be remodeled. It just looks like you're walking into a shopping mall that's closing. That's what it feels like when you go to the theaters now.
Yeah, because those ticket booths are empty. No one's there, and you have the kiosks
because they're obsolete.
That they drilled into the concrete and planted there.
Yeah.
It's more of a Blade Runner situation than anything else. And now you have like security guards everywhere, and of course they don't look very happy nor inviting. It's a very strange thing.
Yeah.
And there's a bar in the middle when you get inside of there. No one's at the bar. I don't think the bar was even open. Yeah. Maybe one person was standing there working, but they were probably on their phone. And obviously since COVID, that really kind of fucked things up for that whole industry. Yeah. But it does need to be rethought. And it's not easy to like rethink and redesign when you have no money. But still, and maybe you're right. Maybe trying to emphasize the glory days of what it used to be is not the right move, because it's not
what it is enough.
I mean, that's why the Alamo is interesting, because it's an alternate take on what a theater experience should be. And they don't the ones that we've been to, they don't embrace the Art Deco style. It's more of like a
wacky
Fleetwood Mac, eclectic found object wood old sewing machines. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but it
which I'm not a huge fan of, but like,
no, but it kind of does feel more like a theme park experience.
Yeah,
because it's transporting you into like a world and not just has that corporate carpet everywhere. You know what I mean?
It's strange to think though that so much of what makes an experience and an architecture valuable is to do with the procession and the getting to the thing. And that's something we talk about often in houses with clients. And procession is one of those words that all architects know, but most clients, maybe they've heard of the word, but they've never it's never used. No one ever uses it, really. Not that I've heard recently, except for architects. So even a lot of times when we're speaking with clients, ones who are incredibly intelligent people, they're like, I've not heard of that word or that used ever, but you keep talking about what the hell, what does that mean? It's like, it's the experience of getting into the house, or of getting into the bedroom, or getting to whatever the thing is. And that's like half of it though, and not necessarily in space. Doesn't have to be the same size as like the main space, but the experience and what it does to you and how the whole thing feels is like half of it, and in my view, at least most of the time, whether it be an elongated thing, an abrupt thing, an abrupt transition from dark to light or light to dark or whatever, but it's definitely part of it. And it's odd that it's like it's because you could also say it's like not necessary because it's not the thing itself.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of things are not necessary, but we still need them.
Yeah, like what?
Everything. Clothing is not necessary.
No, it is.
But we do need to hide our genitals,
Clothing is necessary. It was a clothing, food, and shelter.
No, but I do think that I don't think theaters are quite dead yet. I think they still have a chance to come back to life, but I think somebody has to reanimate them. And it's, I do strongly believe that we need to remodel them and we need to rethink about what it means to have a theater experience in 2025. Especially because of the movies that are playing now, like there's just so much creativity in what's on the screen that how can the box projecting that movie just feel so bland?
And you're not talking about necessarily changing the actual movie experience. Like you're not thinking, chairs should vibrate.
No.
Or something.
I mean, I think it was maybe less than 10 years ago. There was a big remodel that happened with a lot of theaters that started putting those recliners.
Yeah.
And I think that was an awesome idea. That's made me go to the theater a lot more because have a bad back. So those crappy flip top seats were just like really uncomfortable. So we got that in. And I think it was a major win for a lot of movie theaters. I'm not talking about the theater room itself. I'm talking about everything else around that room.
I mean, I think the theater room itself could be also made more interesting.
I think it could. I mean, even like the preview, like the lighting. I don't know. You could do so many things that are super cool, futuristic. You can even do. I don't know, if you're a big corporation like an AMC or whatever, you have, 20 theaters. Like you could theme them even, like all of the movies that are sci-fi, you can turn the lighting to be a certain way. Like you could actually almost create like a mini theme park experience with just a black box, right? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibilities.
I could see that. That'd be fun. And in terms of the theater space itself, it's just interior. I mean, you have the acoustics to worry about, but it's interior, so it's not. None of the things I'm thinking of are structural, so it'd be easy to do.
Yeah, and I think you could. I mean, even just with lighting, you could have LED colored lights if it's a movie of a certain type. You can use the sconce lights on the wall if it's another type of movie, and completely tweak the ambiance of the theater room itself before the movie starts to kind of put people in the mood of what they're about to experience.
It reminds me, they have this type of amusement ride at a lot of different parks, but the one at Disneyland, which it might not even be around anymore. But anyway, the ride I'm thinking of is you're in a vehicle of some sort, but it's a miniature tiered seating kind of space, and there's a big screen in front of you, and the screen makes it look like you're traveling, and the seats move. And
I think Universal
you're,
has a theater like that.
Who does?
I think Universal.
Yeah, they have a number of rides that are like that.
Yeah.
And basically, and so in the case of Universal, it ranges from 8 seats to 15 seats, let's say, that are basically on a big platform. And the platform does move up and down so that you tilt back to make it feel like you're blasting off to light speed or whatever it is. But yes, you have the seats that move, and that creates a big part of the experience. They vibrate and they shake and all this stuff. But again, fundamentally, aside from that, you're sitting in a seat. It's just a seat. And there's a screen, a small screen. And that's it. And then the rest of the stuff that you have, again, is just, it's the extra stuff that we've been describing. Like the inside of that, quote, theater space is designed to look like a space shuttle or whatever it is. And it looks like you're in a space shuttle. The doors to it are like a space shuttle. They open from the side, they make noises that sound like hydraulic, pressurized, whatever. The whole thing is designed, and it does completely impact your experience, Because if you imagine that you just had a screen, and you did have the seats that moved back and forth, but you didn't have all those things. And when you were waiting in line to get into the space, you didn't have all these robots that you're walking by as you're, waiting in line to get in. You didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
It would be probably half as interesting, actually.
Yeah,
truthfully.
I think it would. I think so. I mean, you could even have I'm just even thinking even the food they have available at movie theaters. they could have like specials, right? They could have like special drink because of that movie.
They do.
They could have.
They do. We never get those.
They do, but the thing is, the graphics, the menu board is outdated. You can't see what the stuff is. The staff is like, I don't know.
Well,
the staff is as dusty as the carpet.
The staff is a big part of it for sure.
I do agree with that. Like, I feel like if you had the staff from, I don't know, In-N-Out working at AMC's, for example, or the staff of any place that really care about service, that would improve the experience by a lot.
I mean, the Alamo is basically what we're describing in a certain way.
Yeah. You go get a popcorn at AMC, and it's like you're asking the person to do you a favor to make you a basket of popcorn. It's like, I would just serve myself if I could, to be honest.
It's funny. All the menu screens are digital. And so they use that as a way to promote stuff. It's advertisement, obviously. So one of the persons ahead of us, because we got popcorn, they were looking at the menu, and the guy behind the counter was like, "Yeah, you gotta wait," because an ad came up. It's like, "Yeah, we gotta wait. Okay, there it is. Okay, do you want 1, 2, or item number 3? Oh, gotta wait again. Gotta wait," because the ad kept popping up. It's like, what are we doing?
They could split the screen so the ad's on one side, the menu stays on the other side.
Well, that would cost more money, though.
Yeah.
No, they have like the special drinks and special this and that, but of course it's expensive and small thing too. One of the persons ahead of us in the popcorn line was in front of us, and he was waiting in line also for maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes. It's a good amount of time to decide what you're going to get. Gets up to the front. He's like, what do I want to drink? I'm like, seriously? You were standing in line for 5 minutes. What were you doing that entire time? And I guess he was a connoisseur of the beverages and different flavored iced teas they have at the AMC, because he was having a long discussion with the gentleman behind the counter about which flavor to go with, what it's like. He tried that one before, so I don't know if I want that one again. Maybe I'll try something different. And the guy behind the counter was actually very helpful. He's like, well, that one maybe we're out of. Oh, that one's kind of sweet. He like really cared about his job, almost kind of too much, despite what we just said. And then he was like walking back and forth, looking at the signs. I'm like, seriously, dude, like just get your drink and let's get on with it. This is not part of the experience I want to elongate, because this, and also that's the way they designed the space is kind of unpleasant to be in. But we'll have to watch the movie when it comes out on streaming.
Did you find that the sound was too loud, though?
Yeah, it's too loud.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I had my ears plugged about 50% of the time during the previews.
Actually, I wonder if you could just wear earplugs when you go see movies.
Yeah, you definitely could.
Not fully in, but like just to kind of like.
But I think
damp the sound.
I think, and I could be wrong. I feel like the previews are across the board. There's much more like decibels being pumped out compared to the movie.
Just to get people excited.
Yeah, well, the one theory is that, in the previews, they tend to show all the exciting stuff, and all the previews obviously want to end on a really exciting point, so the volume like just cranks up, and that happens like 20 times because of so many previews. So I plug my ears. Yeah. It's too loud. It's too loud, and I don't know. Maybe my hearing gets damaged, and then the movie sounds quieter. But it's too loud. We both sat there with our ears plugged for most of the previews, which the previews are just as enjoyable as the movie for me. Honestly, it's my favorite thing.
I remember watching previews, and it's always like, "Ooh, what's coming out? What movie are we going to go see next after this one?" And now it's like, you just turn on Netflix and boom.
Yeah, but I think that takes a lot of the joy out of these types of things.
But I think even platforms like streaming platform could also better the navigating experience. Like they should have different mode. Like let's say you just want to like peruse and like pick something and watch, or you want to like pick a movie for the night, and maybe like the way you search and find a movie is like a different thing than just scrolling and searching,
Well, that is, I have no doubt that all the platforms are working on that, and that's basically that using AI.
They're taking too much time.
Well, you just tell AI, like, give me a recommendation for these kind of criterias, and they would probably spit out a grid of stuff, and you choose one. But I think Netflix recently updated their interface, and it's better than it was before. Disney's is pretty good. Apple's is okay. It's pretty good too. It's almost like if something is being broadcast only on a streaming platform, I'm sure the movie makers approach it differently than if it's going to be in a theater.
Well, when
I'm
do
sure
they
it
know
does.
that, though?
Huh?
When in the process of the movie do they know that?
I mean, there was some Netflix, only, what do you call it? Netflix,
production thing?
yeah.
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 Yeah. But if it's not Netflix production, when do they know if it's going to make it into the theater versus not?
It depends. I mean, I think like some of the movies, the people behind it have to argue really hard and make sure it's in the contract that the movie is in the theater for a certain period of time before it goes to streaming. Because there have been situations in the past where they make a movie for a theater and then the production company or whoever says like, oh, no, never mind, we're not going to put it in the theater, we're just going to put it straight on a streaming platform. And then it pisses everyone off.
I know.
Yeah.
You're imagining that your face is going to be all the billboards and it's not gonna.
I mean, even there was a Batgirl movie that was fully filmed, and I think they were editing it or maybe even had it edited. It was like done. And WB, who's the parent company, decided to shelve it because it would have been, I think they used it as a tax write-off. So in the end, it was cheaper for them to shelve it and not use it because obviously even if the movie's done, you still have to pay for marketing, promotion, red carpet stuff, whatever things. It was cheaper for them to shelve it and get the tax write-off rather than make use of it. And that really pissed off a lot of people. Can you imagine?
Imagine you're the actor or actress.
Yeah.
You learn all your lines. You
learn all your lines. That's like step one.
You learn all your lines. Well, yeah, that's where you start, right? And then you did all those scenes. You worked out a bunch, so you look good in the movie. You had to like chop your hair. You had to grow a beard, and then never comes out.
Yeah, no, that was the thing for the main actress and a bunch of other people.
I
think some of them were like, "I'm not working for this."
Like, I mean, if the movie never came out, like, is that even meaningful for anyone?
I don't know. That is such a wild thing to do. Because obviously that industry is so tough. And anyone who's in a creative industry, it's difficult. And then when you get your big break or you think you're going to, you just don't know. It's almost like you can't be excited about it until it's like done out there and hopefully well received. Only then can you like celebrate.
Well, that's a lot of things to happen.
But it's the same thing for architecture, right? You can't really be excited about a project until it's done and it's photographed, if it's going to be published, until it's published.
I saw something.
Because before then, you're always on thin ice. You don't know.
Yeah, no, you are. I saw something, the TV show The Last of Us, the last season, which we have not watched.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like criticizing the season and not liking the season. I think the main actress said something like, well, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. Like, like nobody's forcing you to. Like, if it's not for you, then walk away from it.
I think there's some. We haven't seen it, but I think there was something about Pedro Pascal's been so popular lately that I think he's become a little too popular for some folks, and there's a lot of kind of odd gossip tabloid headlines about his behavior and this and that, which I don't know, but I'm inclined not to believe. And then there's also the main actress of that. People were critical of her, saying her performance is flat. She looks nothing like the video game character. And also they made her have some lines that kind of blurred the lines of gender, which was not the case in the video game. Of course, everyone who's against the LGBT, what am I saying? I'm tired.
LGBT.
Yeah. Or opposed that. Like, there's a line where she says, I'm going to be a daddy. Of course, she's a female, so people were upset about that. There's like a lot of things that happened that caused the season 2 to have a kind of a...
It was just season 2? I don't even know what season we're on.
It's only one season came out, then season 2. Yeah.
So we started watching a new TV show, and David's already annoyed. We're not even at
Oh my God. Has anyone listening, have you
season.
guys watched The Lazarus Project on Netflix? Incredible premise. There's a secret organization of spies and people who save the world. They have the ability to go back in time, to reset by a year, but only a year. So they can't go back in time to like 1970. They can go back by 1 year as many times as they want. And the sole purpose of this group is to prevent the world from ending. That's the only time they intervene. They don't go back to like, save babies. They don't go back to even prevent 9/11 they talked about in the show. They go back only when there's a world-ending event, meaning, it seems to be in most cases, nuclear warheads are being used. And that's the premise of the show. It starts off by one random guy doing his life, wakes up, and then relives like the last 3 months. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? He gets recruited. An amazing premise for anyone interested in this kind of stuff.
British accents all around.
British accents, which I love, and a lot of other European people in there as well.
Mixed race cast.
Yeah. We're on episode, I think we finished episode 4.
Oh, that's it? I feel like we watched like
the most annoying main character ever.
Turns out.
It turns out. And two of the people who are supposed to be bad guys who are pissed off at this group, they do a whole episode dedicated to them to show, why these people are so angry, why they're angry with the group, why they want to burn the world down and whatever. Really, it turns out all of their anger is a result of their own actions. So they have no one else to blame. I don't understand why so many TV shows and movies have to have plot that's driven by stupid people. Can't you write something where the story is being pushed forward without relying on people doing dumb things and blaming everyone else? Like in normal life, if you were to dial back the stakes and make it more like reality, if the people that I find annoying in the show, like the main character or the main bad guy, if they behave that way and they complain about it, I'd be like, well, you're an idiot. I don't need to be around you. You go be with your idiot people. Or if you're going to bitch like that, you're also just a whiny bitch. Then go do that with someone else. Like, right? I mean, it's like, these are not real. Well, there are plenty of ignorant people, and more of them these days, but it's not like, it doesn't make sense that they would have such an impact on...
But you're right, that happens a lot in TV shows. And I'm not sure why. If it's just like the writers became lazy, or if they decided like that would be a more appealing approach, or...
It's lazy writing. It's much easier to write someone stupid and let their a lack of objective, logical thinking be an excuse for things to take place.
Or maybe one person wrote the first half and then the other writers took over and kind of like,
I don't know. So of course I go on Reddit and I'm like, okay, I'm going to type in George is a dumb fuck and Lazarus Project. And of course there's threads that say George is a dumb fuck. So I'm finding exactly what I want to hear, but I'm not the only one. A lot of people are like, this is like insufferable. Yeah. You had a great premise and this guy is making no sense. And apparently it doesn't get any better. So I might not continue watching it, because if it is not going to get better, then I don't know. It's terrible. What a waste.
So if you have any TV show to suggest to David and Marina, where David would not get annoyed, please send us a message. We have the hotline, 212.
I want to know. There must be people who have listened, have watched this and then agree with me.
I forgot the hotline number.
It's 213-222-6950. Yeah. Anyway, I'm hungry.
All right.
What other movies can we go watch?
Wrap it up?
Yeah, give us the outro then.
Thank you everybody for listening to this after our episode. If you like what we do, please subscribe to the show everywhere you can. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and other places as well. If you have any questions, you want to talk about any specific topic, you can reach out at the hotline 213-222-6950. We have the website where all of the episodes are on, secondstudiopod.com, and you can also find us on social media. We post there pretty often, Second Studio Pod. That's it.
That's it.
A lot more to come.
Short, very casual episode. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.